everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 red flags Captain Marvel is going to suck. So without further ado, let's get right into this list. Now I have 10 red flags. They're in no particular order, so let me just start right off with red flag number 1. Now, I'm going to see the film tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Today is Saturday. I bought my tickets a few days ago. I typically will buy tickets in advance. I bought them on Wednesday. And when I bought the tickets, because I was a little concerned that it's going to sell out, when I bought my tickets on Wednesday, and I can pull up the seat selection and everything, because it's a nice cinema, no one had bought tickets. I was the first person buying tickets. Now, you can take that several ways. You could take it that I'm just a movie geeky guy who's early to the jump before anyone else, and you're just a smart movie ticket buyer. The fact that you was able to get a jump on everyone else. Or, alternatively, you could suggest that really no one else was really that high interested in it, that they was angling to get tickets in advance. Now, Wednesday is about 4 days in advance, so it's not like this was 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance. So it just kind of raised an eyebrow that the interest in the movie was a little tepid. So long story short, you can just take that for what it is. Alright, red flag number 2, the trailer. Now, mind you, I'm not a big trailer watcher. In fact, I actually try to avoid watching trailers because I don't like how trailers give so much away. I don't like how they feature big action highlight moments. I want to see it for the first time in the theater. I just want to go in with a blank slate and experience the movie fresh. You can't avoid the trailer. It pops up everywhere. You can hear it in the background. But so the little bit that I've just been able to see through little peeks through the corner of my eye, here in the background, I'm just been underwhelmed, to be perfectly honest. It just hasn't cried out like, wow, this seems like it's going to be good. Look at this crazy wild stuff that this lady is doing. Really didn't see much of that. Couldn't tell you what her powers are from the trailer. So from a trailer perspective, a trailer drawing you to want to see it, I can't say that the trailer really did that. Red flag number 3. Now, so look, I go to the cinema quite a bit. I go probably once or twice a week. Sometimes I might even go a third time in 1 week to see films. That said, I then see a lot of trailers. Quite a bit of trailers. And if you go every week, you might see the same trailer 20-25 times. That's why I try to avoid trailers, because if I had a practice of watching trailers, I would just kind of be numb from certain highlights when I actually finally saw the movie. Okay, so that said, being in the cinema all these weeks, I rarely saw the trailer for this movie in the cinema playing. Like, you would think that it would just be all over the place. I would have been exposed to it 10-15 times. Like, every time I go, they be playing that thing. Take, for example, the Us movie. I see that trailer every week that I go to the cinema. I see it on television. I see it just about everywhere. Now, I don't watch it, but I see it coming on, and then I look the other way. But that trailer is everywhere. But for Captain Marvel, I just really haven't seen that thing around. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean it's not going to be a good movie? I don't know. It just means that they haven't put the trailer out there for For whatever reason, you can read into that what you want to read into it. All right, red flag number 4. You know how a movie comes out? So let's take a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy. So, before it came out, they're saying, oh yeah, and the screenings is like rating off the hook, and they're already talking about a trilogy, and they're talking about, they're already in talks to make the sequel, blah blah blah. Okay, for this film, I haven't heard any talk about this being part of a sequel, or they can't wait to make a trilogy from it, or they just kind of make it seem like it's going to be a one-off. Now, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just makes you feel that this is not a major film, that they have high hopes for, that once you see it, there's going to be a demand to make more of these films. So from that standpoint, it just makes you feel like this film is not going to be anything special. All right, flag number 5. Now, let me say right off the bat, I live in one of the largest cities in the world, if not the largest city in the world. I see films in a whole bunch of formats, whether it's IMAX, IMAX 3D, Dolby, surround sound, 4DX, all the formats. I'll see a film. So I'm pretty savvy when it comes to finding where different films are playing in different formats. I find it a little curious that this film is not available in IMAX 3D. Now, someone's going to say, oh no, but see, if you go to blah blah place, you can find an IMAX 3D. Look, I love IMAX 3D. So I know all the places that show it. I have go-to theaters that I will see my IMAX 3D. So if a movie's coming out in IMAX 3D, it will be this theater if it's available in IMAX 3D. And I will say that none of the theaters that I typically go to for IMAX 3D is carrying this in IMAX 3D, which leads me to believe it's either not available in IMAX 3D or not widely available in IMAX 3D. Now, I do know that's available in 3D. I'll just call it regular 3D. In fact, I'm going to see it tomorrow in 3D. But as far as IMAX 3D, not available or not widely available. Now, you can read into that what you want. Look, Avengers Endgame, that's going to be available in IMAX 3D. Okay. Captain America, Iron Man, they're in IMAX 3D. So read into that what you want. I call it a red flag. Now you're going to say, well, hold on. Deadpool 2, that's Marvel. That wasn't widely available IMAX 3D. Okay. But then I'm going to counter that and tell you that, the Solo movie was in IMAX 3D. Mortal Engines was in IMAX 3D. So the threshold to put a movie in IMAX 3D is not always that high. So that's just, to me, a red flag. Now, red flag number 6. I'm pretty media savvy. I watch a fair amount of YouTube, TV, cable, all the things. I just haven't seen Brie Larson much around for interviews and press and all that type of stuff. And you would just say, well, that's odd. Like, why isn't she out there? Why aren't you just seeing her all over the place? When The Rock has a film, you will see him all over the place. When Tom Cruise has a film, you will see him in everything, on the red carpet, on the late shows and the morning shows. Just every time you turn around, you're seeing this guy talking about the film. Same thing with like Kevin Hart. This lady, I just have not seen her around. Now, she's probably going to come back and say, "Oh no, why would you say that? I've been doing press for this film for the last 3 months. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Rome. I just came back from the LA premiere. I've been all over the place. I just did a sit down with this person and that person. Non-stop. How could you say that? Look, I'm not blaming you, Miss Lawson. Don't take it personally, Mom. I'm just talking about the fact, look, I have my eyes wide open. I see what's going on in the world, and I just have not seen you around that much. Now, I'm not blaming you for that. You don't have control over that. Blame your publicist. But I have not seen you where I usually see people rolling out a big time movie. You can read into that what you want, or that kind of just is a red flag to me. Red flag number 7. Before I went to see the film, or bought tickets, I actually had to ask my friends whether or not they was interested in seeing it. Now, that alone should tell you how unconfident I was that the buzz on this is positive enough that you would just assume people want to see the film. So, for example, if like Mission Impossible comes out, it's like a matter of, okay, so when you're available, we know we're going to see it. Or John Wick comes out, okay, so you're available on Sunday, let's see it. There's no kind of question on whether he's going to want to see it. Batman or Superman or something like that, or Iron Man. There's no question that we're going to see it. It's just a matter of when. But for this one, I actually wasn't really sure whether people was going to. I actually had to ask and see whether people was interested. And that alone should tell you that it's just not a consensus everywhere that everyone wants to go out and see this film. I mean, it's just being honest. So that alone tells you that people are sort of hesitating to want to see this film. And that's not a good sign, of course. But that's, to me, another red flag. A red flag number 8, beyond the name Captain Marvel, I mean, for the casual moviegoer, not a big understander of the Marvel Universe, did anybody really know who Captain Marvel was, or what that person does? Perfectly honest, didn't know Captain Marvel was a lady, be perfectly honest, or what she did, or what her powers are, how she got her powers, what they look. Didn't know any of that. Let's face it, and I'm guessing there's quite a lot of people who didn't know that either. Just from name recognition, Captain Marvel is not an automatic draw. Okay, you say Venom or Batman or Spider-Man, we know what we're dealing with. You say Joker, we know what we're dealing with. You say Captain Marvel, okay, we have to sort of ask around. We have to go on the internet and do a little research, a little digging to get to the bottom of that. Again, that's not a bad thing, but it just kind of puts a little damper on people's enthusiasm to rush out to see this as like a must-see film. Okay, red flag number 9 is that they're releasing this film, by and large, in most places, on March 8th, and they're going to release Avengers Endgame April 26th. It's like a 7-week difference. The fact that they're releasing this film so close to Endgame on one level makes sense, and on the other level doesn't make sense. Now, the people who get it would say, oh no, but it's because it's sort of a lead-in to the Endgame. We know that she's instrumental in helping the Avengers, so it's just sort of setting the table for Avengers Endgame. So it makes sense that it would just be a month or two in advance, to sort of set the table for what's coming ahead in Avengers Endgame. But that same explanation defending it also tells you that it's not a big deal, Because if it was a big deal, they would separate it. They wouldn't put Aquaman 2 months after Justice League. Well, come on, we just know that. And history has told us, like with the Solo movie, putting a movie that close to The Last Jedi was a big mistake. I don't care what they say, but let's face it, that was a huge mistake. It's just too soon. They should have put it off until later in the year. So it's a very risky move to put that close. But like I said, it just goes to the point that the Peoples is not looking at this as a major film. They're looking at it as a film that's just sort of setting the table. That's sort of an appetizer for the real film, Avengers Endgame. That Avengers Endgame is really the marquee film that we propping up there. And Captain Marvel is just really a lead-in. It's really on the undercard, so don't expect too much from it. We're not putting it in IMAX 3D. It's a nice little cozy film, but don't expect it. We're not rolling this film out like it's a big deal. So that alone is a red flag that they're not seeing this as a major film. Okay, and then red flag number 10 is that just the fact that we know that she plays a part in Avengers Endgame. But they would lead you to believe she's instrumental in bringing back all the Avengers and superheroes who have been vaporized, for lack of a better word, in the other Avengers movie. So we know that's going to be her main function, and that's probably not going to happen in her film. That they're probably saving that for Avengers Endgame. So by and large, if we're not going to see that in Captain Marvel, then why actually are we going? Like, what are we looking to see? To see her backstory, how she grew up on a farm, how she liked to throw around little paper planes, and then she saw a plane fly by her window and pointed at it and looked at her little sister and said, I'm going to do that one day. And then lo and behold, she's getting medals and awards and being the first in the class, and seem to have an uncanny ability to fly planes and take risks and make good decisions and stuff like that. That's pretty much, did I just describe the film? Pretty much. And then somehow she gets these powers, and she has to go on some mission, I presume, and solve the mission. And then at the end, Samuel L. Jackson is going to say, look, I need you, or she's going to get, I guess she'll get the text message that something going wrong with the rest of the Avengers. So, I mean, we kind of know this basic story already before we go in there. So, is there much mystery left that you're saying, oh, I got to see this, I can't wait to see, I have no idea, how this fits into anything. So, that kind of takes a little bit of the luster off, like making this a must-see film. Those are my 10 red flags, guys. Like I said, I'm going to see the film tomorrow. I have no idea whether it's going to be good or bad, or suck or not. I'm going in there with an open mind, though. Like I said, I have these 10 red flags that make me a little apprehensive of what I'm going to see. But if you are hearing this video right now, you can presume that I saw the film and it sucked. So let's just put it out there like that. See you again soon, guys. Bye bye for now.